Gajananam Bodhaganati Sevitam Kapita Jambu Balasar Bhakshitam Umasutam Soka Vinashakaranam Namami Vigneshwara Pada Pankajam Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sadashiva Samarambam Sankaracharya Madhyamam Asmat Acharya Paryantam Bhante Guru Paramparam Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvata Sadike Saranye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namosute Om Shri Matre Namaha Om Shri Annadhaya Namaha Om Shri Vasudhaya Namaha Om Shri Sachamara Ramavani Sabya Dakshana Sevitaya Namaha Om Shri Kataksha Kankari Bhuta Kamala Koti Sevitaya Namaha Om Shri Shiva Saktya Aikya Rupi Namaha Om Shri Lalita Ambikaya Namaha Om Shri Shantanam Sadgurave Namaha Om Shakti Om Parashakti Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Om Shakti Om Parashakti Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Om Shakti Om Parashakti Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Om Shakti Om Parashakti Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Nama Parvati Pataye Har Har Mahadeva. Namaskaram. Welcome to session 14 in the series of Lalitha Sahasranamam under the Vande Vidya Sankaram program of SPB of North. Greetings to all of you on Adi Pirappu, the start of the holy Adi month today. Adi is a month that is dedicated to Ambal, the great goddess Devi. Devotees worship very fervently during this month. So reciting or listening to Lalitha Sahasranam itself during this month is extremely beneficial to all devotees. This month also marks the beginning of many festivals like Adi Puram, which is the birth star of Andal, as you know, an incarnation of goddess Lakshmi. Varalakshmi Vritam follows, then Yajurupa Karma, Gokula Ashtami, and so on. Today also marks the movement of the sun from Uttarayanam, that is northward to Dakshinayanam. The term Ayanam meaning movement. In our Sanatana Dharma, we have this great tradition of worshipping the sun. The sun has a very special significance. The Vedas, they laud the sun as the source of life, as a source of intelligence, consciousness within us, and the very core of our being, each soul being a spiritual sun of its own. You know, in Sandhya Vandanam, those who do it regularly, there is the mantra, Suryascha Mamanyuscha Manyupadayascha Manyukritebhyaha Papebhyo Raktantam Midratriya Pap Makarasham Manasa Vacha Hastabhyam Padmavadreni Sasna Rasita Avalampatu Edgincha Duritam Maidamaham Mamamrityo no Surya Jodhijho Miswaha. You know this mantra, we do it. So it is something which is of great importance to us, you know. It is part of the Sanatana Dharma, and in Hindu astrology also, the northward movement of the sun is set to start the first day of the month of Thai, that is somewhere in mid-January, and then the southward movement today on the first day of Adi. So the night of the Devas, Dakshinayana Punya Kalam, starts today. And also Chaturmasyam, as you know, the sannyasis observe this during this month. They don't move out and they stay at one place. So that is the greatness of this month of Adi. And this is something which I thought I'll share with you while beginning. So with this little introduction about Adi, let us now move on to the session 14, which we are going to start today. Let me share the screen. Okay, I think that we got it. So as usual, we'll start our Dhyana Slokam and then we follow with the verse number 137. Sindhuraruna Vigraham Trinayanam Manikya Baudi Spurat Tara Nayaka Sekaram Chitamukim Apina Vakshoruham Panibhyam Alipur Ratra Sashakam Raktotvalam Bibratim Saumyam Ratna Gadatta Raktacharanam Jayet Param Ambikam Arunam Karuna Tarankitakshim Disapasankucha Pushpavana Chabam Animadi Viravirtam Mayukai Rakamitte Bhave Bhavanim Jayet Padmasanastam Vikasivadanam Padmapatra Dakshim He Babam Pitavastram Kara Kali Talasat He Padmam Barangim Sarva Alankaritam Satana Madita Bhaktanandram Bhavanim Sri Vidyam Shantamurtim Sakala Suranatam Sarva Sampat Padatrim Sa Kunkuma Vilepana Malikuchumba Kasturikam Samanta Hasidechanam Sasana Chapa Pashankusham Asesha Jana Mohinim Arunamalya Bhushambaram Japa Kusuma Basuram Japa Vidos Paredam Bikam. So with that Dhyana Slokam, we are going to start with the first Nama, which is verse 137 and Nama 701. Last time we completed up to Nama 700 and Slokam 136. So today we continue starting with 137 Slokam and Nama 701. 701. I'm going to recite the Slokam and then explain to you. Desakala Parichinna Sarvaga Sarvamohini Saraswati Shastramayi Guhamba Gukya Rupini. Desakala Parichinna. You know, it should be split into Desa, Kala, and Parichinna. Desa relates to space. You know, we say Desam means also country, right? Desa, which is space really. Very easy to understand. Kala, everybody knows time. Chinna. Chinna means divided, split, you know. In Tamil, we say Chinna Pinnam, right? Which means it is completely split into pieces. In fact, in Sundarakandam, you have the Chinna Pinna in so many places. When Hanuman just gives a kick to the rock, he says it becomes Chinna Pinna. It is split into fragments. And Parichinna means Pari is adding emphasis. You know, Hasam means to laugh. Parihasam means what? To make fun of somebody. Parihasam. Paripalayamam. So it's actually adding emphasis, which means it is totally split. It is indeterminate. It is unlimited. So Desakala Parichinna means Ambal is unlimited by space and time. When you say this book was not here, what does it mean? It means it relates to the place, it is not that. It is called Desabhavam. When you say this book was not here yesterday, let's say, then it relates to time. It is called Kala Bhavam. So Ambal is beyond these kind of limitations. That's what it means. Shankara is well known as the Shanmaka Stapaka. You all know it, right? He established Shaivam, Vaishnavam, Saktam, Sauram, Ganapatyam, and Kaumaram. These are all his creations. He synthesized 72 factions into 6 different religious divisions. So among this, there is one division called Sauram. And Sauram is something which is related to the worship of sun. You know that. Sauram, Suryan. In the Saura sect, God Surya is the Lord of everything, Trimurti, the eternal Brahman and the supreme spirit, the soul of all creatures, you can say. And Saura followers, they worship Surya as the Saguna Brahman. The most important text of the Shaura sect is called Shaura Samhita. It has got 16 chapters. It's mainly a Shiva Purana, and it is related to what you call the philosophical issues, rituals related to Shiva, and it is following the nature of Ishvara and Shiva. So Bhaskaraya quotes from this Shaura Samhita. He says, the person is omnipresent like ether. Everything except himself is illusory, as is said to be unlimited in space. Unlimited in space, unlimited in time, unlimited in things. Limited by space means the absolute non-existence of a thing in a certain place. Like this is not here. Limited by time. This was not before. It will not exist in future also. It is having no antecedents nor precedents. So the gist of this Nama explained by Bhaskaraya is that Ambal is not limited by space and time. So that is the meaning of this Desakala Parichinna. We move on to the next Nama, 702, which is Sarvaga. Sarvaga means omnipresent. Ambal is everywhere, in every substance. In every substance. It confirms the belief, core belief of Sanatana Dharma, that everything is divine. You know, we say Sarvayam Vishnumayam Jagat, right? So when Hiranyakasipu asked his son Prahlada, where is your Narayana? And Prahlada said, he is in everything. Right from a small particle to a pillar. And Hiranyakashipu got very angry. He pointed to the pillar with a sword. He said, is he in this pillar? And Prahlada said, yes. And Hiranyakashipu struck the pillar with the sword, and out came the Lord as Narasimha, proving what was said by Prahlada, that he is there in everything. Likewise, Ambal exhibits to us the innumerable substance of the universe. Divinity is inherent in everything you see. We hear, we smell, we touch or feel. You know, we do not spit or step on paper or money. We don't enter a house with our footwear on. We don't enter a temple with our footwear on. It is because we feel that each of these have divinity in them. It is a core belief of Sanatana Dharma. We worship the well, you know, Ganta Puja, a pot of water. We worship trees. We worship cow. We worship elephant. We worship books. We worship even various implements of Ayuda Puja. And so on. So what is the background of Ambal being in every substance? Let's hear from Bhaskaraya. He quotes from Varaha Purana. You know,
your audio is a little bit in and out. Can you get a little closer to the microphone? Or?
Oh, can you hear me now? Is it better?
Yeah, it's a little better. If you get closer, I think it's better. Correct.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
கொஞ்சம் பின்னாடி போனேன்னா கேட்க மாட்டேங்குது.
I'm sitting a little closer to the microphone now.
Yes. Yeah, it is better. Straight நீங்க பேசினா கேக்குது.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm sitting a little closer. You know, Bhaskaraya quotes from Varaha Purana. Is it okay? Audible? Okay, good. He says when Devi, in the form of creative Shakti, was performing tapas in the Shweta mountain, she was doing patas, and Brahma was very pleased with that, and he appeared before her and she said, Devi, ask a boon, anything you want. And she said, oh, Holy One, I cannot bear to remain in one place. please grant me the boon of omnipresence. I want to be everywhere. And Brahma said, okay, granted. You will be in all forms, you will become omnipresent. Your qualified form will be in all bodies, or you will become the soul of all. So that is from the Varaha Purana. He also quotes Devi Purana, which says that the Devi certainly in Vedas sacrifices heaven. All this universe, animate or inanimate, is provided by Devi. She is sacrificed to, she is worshipped, she is food and drink. Everywhere Devi is present under different forms and names, as in the trees, as in the earth, as in wind, as in ether, as in water, as in fire. We know we do Bhumi Puja before any construction starts, right? So Devi is worshipped as a Bhuma Devi. So one who knows her will be absorbed into her. So in Devi Mahatmyam, we have this, there is a Devi Stuti. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Vishnu Mayete Sabdita Namastastai 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 Namo Namaha Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Chaitanyete Abhishayete Abhidiyate Namastastai 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 Namo Namaha. She is in the form of Vishnu Maya, she is in the consciousness. So she is omnipresent, she is everywhere. So that is the meaning of this Nama Sarvaga. Going further, the next Nama, 703, is Sarva Mohini. We all know Moha. Moha means something which attracts like a magnet. It also means bewildering. Sarva Mohini means all bewildering. Bewilders means cause someone to become kind of perplexed and confused, Sometimes the namas may be very confusing. The Bhaskara, in fact, questions it. He says, how can this Devi be said to possess contradictory attributes like permanence and impermanence, animation, non-animation, and so on? Actually, this Nama answers this question. Ambal bewilders all the ordinary people, Sarva Mohini, who believe in the reality of apparent duality, Dvaitam. That is, she makes them devoid of the knowledge of unity. The meaning is that the apparent difference between Brahman and the universe is Maya, is illusory. The Kurma Purana, quoted by, again, Bhaskaraya, Shiva says, the Supreme Shakti is in me and is Brahman itself. This Maya is very dear to me, by which this world is bewildered. I bewilder the whole universe with the Devas, Daityas, and I create them, I cause them to exist. In another place, Bhaskaraya quotes, Devi says to Himavat, whatever different scriptures are found in the world, opposed to Shruti and Smriti, devoted to the position of duality, they are all for the purpose of bewilderment. Those who are confused by the false scriptures also confuse the world in another cycle. So these were all created by me for the sake of bewilderment. So she's intentionally confusing people who believe in duality. So Sarva Mohini means Ambal bewilders Moha, the three worlds. Going further, Saraswati is the next Nama, number 704. We all know Saraswati is the goddess of knowledge. But it's a Sanskrit fusion of two words. Saras meaning a lake, a pond, or pool. In fact, in Pune, you got a place called Sarasbag. And it also means speech. Vati means one who possesses that. So Saraswati is a deity who presides over knowledge. She is in the form of the ocean of knowledge. In fact, Bhagavad Gita I want to quote this slokam from chapter 5, it's 15. Nadatte kaschijita papam nachaiva sukrutam vibhu agyenanavritam jnanam Tena Mukhyanti Antavaha. It means the omnipresent God does not himself involve in the sinful or virtuous deeds of anyone. The living entities are deluded because their knowledge is covered by ignorance. Knowledge is covered by ignorance, hence people are bewildered. It is necessary to confuse sinful men because they are devoid of divine grace, to conceal from them the knowledge of non-duality or Advaitam, which is the highest of human desires and which removes all sorrows. So Bhaskaraya adds from the Bharadwaja Smriti, he says, Saraswati is she who ever resides in the tongue of all beings, who causes speech. Hence she is called Saraswati by great rishis. The Vasishtha Ramayana says she is called Saraswati because she is a stream of sense impressions. So Ambal is Saraswati, who is a pool of knowledge and causes speech. You all know the Sankaracharyas of Kanchi Kamakoti Pitam have Saraswati in their names, in the title. Goddess Sharada in Sringeri is the goddess of learning. Sharada Devi is also known as Saraswati. So Saraswati is a very common name, and it is indicating that Ambal is an ocean of knowledge. Going further, Shastramayi, number 705. Shastra means learned discipline or sciences, and sciences mean knowledge by modern standards also. In fact, there is a university called Shastra in India. Shastramayi is one who's the form of scriptures. She whose limbs are the scriptures. Bhaskaraya quotes the Brahmanda Purana. He says, Brahmanda Purana says, she created from her breath the Vedas. From her sweet words, she created poetry, drama, rhetoric. From her tongue, created Saraswati. From her chin, whose eyes resemble the Chakora bird, the 6 supplementary Vedas. From the top of her throat, Mimamsa, Nyaya Sastra, Purana, Dharma Sastra. From the middle of her throat, medicine and archery. From the bottom of her throat, the 64 sciences, 64 Kalayal. From the rest of her limbs, all the other dharmas. And from her shoulders, the science of love. So one of the names of Ambal in Lalitha Sahasranamam is Veda Janani. So she is the mother of Vedas, and she is also the mother of all Shastras or disciplined sciences. Guhamba is the next Nama, which is number 706, which means the mother of Guha or Subramanya. Guha means a cave. In fact, in Tamil, you call Guhai, right? Gu is Dhatu or root, which is darkness. A cave is usually dark and a secret place, and therefore a Guha is a cave. Guha also means Subramanya. In one of my earlier sessions, I told you the story of Sanat Kumar, who was later born as Subramanya. The Mahabharata gives a reason in the Anusasana Parva. So in order to destroy the Daitya Taraka Asuras, at the request of the Devas, Subramanya was born in a forest, Saravana Paihi. And because of his birth in the solitude of a forest, Aranya, of reeds, Korapul, he came to be called as the secret born, Guha. And as he was raised by the Kritikas, he came to be also known throughout the 3 worlds as Kartikeya. So Guhamba also means Ambal, who is residing the Guha, or the heart of all living beings. So that is another interpretation given by Bhaskar Raya. Going further, the last Nama of this particular verse, Guhya Rupini, It's actually an extension of the earlier one. Guha is Guhyam. Guhyam means confidential subject. Guhya Rupani means Ambal is the secret form. In our Japa Vidhanam, praying to Ambal, we say one slogam. Many of you may know is Guhyadi Guhya Goptritvam Grihadas Pratam Kritam Japam Siddhir Bhavatu Me Devi Tat Prasadan Maistira. It means you are the secret of all secret. Guhyadi Guhya Goptritvam. You are the secret of all. Grihanam Aspit Kritam Japam. Please accept my Japam. Siddhir Bhavatu Me Devi Tat Prasadan Maistira. Your perpetual grace should fall on me. You know, this is all part of our Japa Vidhanam to Ambal. So, all the ordinary ideas which are of duality are only true for a time, but non-duality, Advaitam, is ever true. This non-duality, Advaitam, is the most secret, not perceivable by ordinary vision. And that is a Rupam, Guhya Rupini. Bhaskaraya also quotes a verse from the Sutta Samhita. You know, Sutta Samhita is a part of Skanda Purana, which is a very large Purana consisting of 100,000 slokas. And he says, the Sutta Samhita says, we adore Devi. It is from chapter 4, 47 slokam. We adore Devi who assumes the form of the Guru, the secret, in the form of secret knowledge, beloved by her secret devotees, residing in the secret place. Thus, by attributing two forms to the one Brahman, two kinds of scriptures are considered. Guhya means the Guhya Upanishad, which is their form. Gu means ignorance, Ru means dispeller. You know, Guru means one who dispels ignorance. So, Kurma Purana, he also quotes, in describing the glory of this, says, among the Upanishads, Devi, you are the Guhya Upanishad. There is a Upanishad called Guhya Upanishad. And Devi is the Guhya Upanishad. So that is the meaning of Guhya Rupini. We'll go to the next one. Sarvo Badir Vinirmukta Sada Shiva Patibrita Sampradayeshwari Sadvi Guru Mandala Rupini. Sarva Upadi Vinirmukta. Sarva Upadi Vinirmukta. Again, this Nama is stressing, and the Ambal is free from all limitations. Bhaskaraya comments, you know, Sarvopadi means all limitations or attributes, whether conditioned or unconditioned. The relation between the qualities and the thing which is qualified is illusory or false. Right? The relation of silver is the mother of pearl. You know, you look at how the pearl comes from the shell. The shell indicates there is silver, but it is not really silver. It looks silverish. So, to establish the authority of the scriptures as truth, it must be explained that all the Vedantas mean directly or indirectly one and the same Supreme Brahman, which is non-duality, Advaitam. The other scripture which advocate duality are taken as explaining the ordinary vision, as we find the same in the science of astronomy or eclipse, which is indicated by the words as 5 or 6 fingers. In ancient days, you know, time intervals were measured by the aid of time clock, water clock as they call it. It was an ancient device for measuring time by the gradual flow of water, like sand clock, you know. Water was used. So the time intervals were expressed in time degrees, equal to say 4 minutes, while the eclipse magnitudes were expressed in fingers, each equal to 1/12 of the lunar diameter. So there are two scriptures, one advocating the duality and the other non-duality, and they are not the same. They are not to be dealt with equally. They are both different. Two scriptures, one which advocate non-duality, other one which advocate non-duality. Both are different. So Ambal is free from all such limitations of contained by whether conditioned or unconditioned. So that is the meaning of Sarvopadi Vinirmukta. Sadashiva Pativrata, next nama 709, means totally devoted to Shiva, always remaining with him all the times. Shritikartri Brahmarupa Goptri Govindarupini Samharani Ruddharupa Tirudana Karishwari Sadashiva Anugrahata Panchakritya Parayana. Among our 5 functions, Sadashiva Anugrahata is the one, last one. Shiva is Nirguna Brahman, or the Brahman without attributes. Ambal belongs to Brahman, endowed with all the energies for creation, sustenance, and dissolution. Shrishtikartri, Brahmarupa, Goptri, Govindarupani, Rudrarupa, all her form. So she is the one who has the energy for the creation, sustenance, and dissolution. So she is so much committed, devoted to Shiva, Sadashiva Pativrata. Next one is Sampradayeswari. What is Sampradayam? It means a tradition followed by a group of people a long time. So every family has a tradition, no? Sampradaya is a sacred tradition in families and generations. Usually started with the advice of a guru and continue through generation after generation as the tradition. So Ambal is the Ishwari of traditional wisdom. Ambal is the ruler of traditional knowledge. So moving on to the next nama, Sadvi. The word Sadvi comes in Slokam 43 earlier. Shankari, Srikari, Swadvi, Sarasanda, Nibanana, Chadodari, Sadhyamati, Niradhara, Niranjana. No, there we get the word Sadvi also. Now, the Sadvi word is split into two actually. It should be split into two namas as Sadhu and Yi. Sadhu is, you can say nama number 711 and 712 is Yi. Now, Sadhu, you all know the meaning. Sadhu means somebody who is like a Muni, a pious person. It is coming from the root Sad, which means to reach one's goal or gain power or virtuous or pious. The same root Sad is also used in spiritual practice. Means one who practices a sadhana or a path of spiritual discipline. Bhaskaraya interprets it as well done. He calls Ambal's inherent quality as Parahamta, just as, burning is the inherent quality in fire. What is Parahamta? Both intellect and ego evolve from 3 gunas, Sattvic, Rajas, and Tamas. The Brahman stands covered by the sheath of ego. Ego is a functional quality, and hence Shakti is called Parahamta. Shiva is static in nature, and Shakti is functional nature. Functionality is the inherent quality of Shakti. She is the cause of accomplishments, and she is the one who dispels ignorance. Hence, she is called Sadhu. Nama E is pronounced E. Bhaskaraya refers it as Kamakala. We have seen it earlier in Nama 312. Kamakala Rupa. Kamakala is the root of Panchadasi. It represents Ambal's subtle form and a subtlest form, which is Kundalini. No, Bhaskar Rai comments on the philosophy behind this nama. He says this nama proceeds to say that quality Parahamta has two forms. One syllable belonging to the Turiya, known as Kamakala. Turiya. Turiya means the fourth, derived from, Chaturiya, Chaturta. So, which is pure consciousness. The letter A represents Vishnu and E represents Ambal as Vishnu's sister. The derivation of E is from A that represents Vishnu. So the meaning of E is she becomes a part of the nature of Vishnu as his sister playing the role of preservation or sthiti. I want to share here something interesting. Interestingly, most female names end in either E or R. Like, for example, Meenakshi, Kamakshi, Kantimati, Vaishnavi, Gayatri, Savitri, Arati, Parvati, Dharini. You can go on. All these names end in E. Even Western names like Mary, Nancy, Natalie, Sophie, Molly, Ellie, all these end interestingly in E. Have you observed this? Names that end in A include, Vidya, Aparna, Ramya, Saroja, Sindhuja, Durga, and so on. So you see, very interesting that E or A ending is in female names. I don't know how it has come, but it is there. You can observe it. Just watch the names, and once you hear the name, you know whether it's a man or a woman. So, the aksharams are very important in Sanskrit. I want to say a little more on this. We have seen more before that Ambal is in every one of the aksharams. Aksharam means non-diminishing entity. Shyamala Dandagam by Kalidas says, Sarva Mantratmike, Sarva Yantratmike, Sarva Saktiyatmike, Sarva Pidatmike, Sarva Tatvatmike. Lalita is known as Matrika Devi, the goddess of the letters of the alphabet. Matrika is a collective term for all letters and sounds. They are mother-like. That's why called Matrika. So they form the basis or the source for all forms of knowledge. And they also form the planes of existence, the lokas. Matrikas are the subtle form of force that is behind every thought, every speech, every mantra. The arrangement of letters in Sanskrit alphabet is called Varnamala, which means a garland of letters, Varnamala. So these aksharas are not just mumbo jumbo. When you utter them, they release the power of Parashakti, who's hidden in them. And they energize the speech, they energize mind, they energize breath and other organs of the body. That is why when you pronounce mantras, it has to be the right way. The pronunciation is very important because they go and energize the whole body. The combination of the 15 vowels, the nityas, and the consonants, the 36 tattvas, produces all sound, all mantra, all vibration, all word, and all music, the entire universe. The Saundara Lahari contains 51 aksharas hidden in 51 slokas. Ambal's Pitam is called Akshara Pitam. I don't know how many have gone to Tiruvarur. In Tiruvarur, there is a Kamalamba temple. There is an Akshara Pitam there. There is no Vigraham of Ambal there. Devotees can worship Ambal in any form there, any aksharam. Muthuswami Dikshithar, one of the musical trinity, worshipped Kamalambal here. And one of his very famous songs on Ambal's Pitam in Devagandhari Ragam, I think Meera Shudram knows that. Panchasatpita-rupini mam pahi Sri Raja Rajeshwari. Panchasatpita-rupini mam pahi Sri Raja Rajeshwari. Panchadasakshari Pandya Kumari. Panchadasakshari Pandya Kumari. Padmanabha Sagodari Sankari. Padmanabha Sagodari Sankari. Panchasatpita Rupini. One of the very famous songs of Muthuswami Dikshidhar, the Panchadasi mantra, very potent 15 letters or syllable, Bijakshara, composed of 3 kutas, 3 segments, is the very heart of Sri Vidya Upasana. Devi Mahatmyam, there is a slokam, chapter 4, slokam 4, which shows the greatness of Devi in different forms and different people. Ya Srihi Swayam Sukritanam Bhavaneshvalakshmihi Papatmanam Kritadiyam Hridayeshu Buddhi Shraddhaya Satam Kulajana Prabhavasya Lajja Tam Tvam Nataha Sma Paripalaya Devi Vishwam. Devi itself is a good fortune. Ya Srihi Swayam. She is a good fortune in the virtues. Sukritanam Bhavaneshwar Ashmihi. Papatmanam Kritadiyam Hridayeshu Buddhi. She is a misfortune in the evil minded. Shraddhaya Satam. Though she is the intelligence of the land. In Shraddha, in the saintly people. O Devi, Tattam Nataka, Sma Paripalaya Devi Vishwam. Please protect and sustain this world by your power. So, this is Devi, the greatness explained in different people who are virtuous, who are evil-minded, who are intelligent, who are saintly. And Bhaskara adds more, the Brahman becomes twofold, becoming both the quality and the qualified. Again, the quality is divided into 2, masculine and feminine. The feminine becomes wife of Paramashiva. The masculine becomes Vishnu as the material cause of the universe. So these 3 together, according to the Saiva doctrine, it forms the partless Brahman. It is supported, this doctrine is supported by the Kurma and other Puranas, and also extensively by Appaya Dikshidhar. Shankaracharya in his work, Saundaryanagari, he gives the mode of worship of Kamakala. So, this is the Sadhvi explained in detail. Going further to the next Nama, number 713, Guru Mandala Rupini. Ambal is in the company of Gurus. Talking about Gurus, we say in our Dhyana Slokam, Sadashiva Samarambam, beginning from Sadashiva, who was the first teacher, ending up to Asvatacharya Parama, our present teacher. Gurus from Paramashiva to one's own teacher, they form the mandala or group. Regular succession of them, hundreds of them, over centuries. That is Guru Mandala. The meaning is that the secrets of Vedas or scriptures was handed down uninterruptedly from one teacher to people and was not really written in the books. Yogini Hridaya, quoted by Bhaskaraya, says, into this world, this secret was handed down from year to year. Year to year means Shruti, from one year to another year. So Ambal is worshipped in this Guru Mandalam, the group of Gurus. So when you worship your Guru, you're also worshipping Ambal. Going further, let's move on to the next slide here. Kulo Tirna Bagaradya Maya Madhumati Mahi Ganamba Gukyakaradya Kobalangi Guru Priya. Kulo Tirna Nama 714. It means transcending the senses. In this Nama, Kula means a group of senses, both internal, Antakarana, and external. She has transcended all the senses and merely remains as a kind of witness. That is the meaning of Kulotirna. Next Nama is Bhagaradya. Bhaga Aradya. It's split as Bhaga Aradya. Now, Bhaga has got several meanings in Sanskrit. It means wealth, power, fortune. Bhaga is also one of the Adityas. You know, a group of deities known as sun gods, described in the ancient text Bhagavata Purana. The Adityas are different avatars of Lord Vishnu in the form of sun god. Surya also is known in the Veda as Bhagavan. As Bhaga, he resides in the body of all living beings. Bhaga here means the sun's Surya Mandala, sun's disk as you call it, Surya Mandala. There are many forms of sun god in Vedic thought which reflects various aspects of dharma. These include Surya, he who revolves, Savitri, the transforming will, Aditya, which is the primal intelligence, Mitra, you know, Bengalis keep the name Mitra, very common name, which means the divine friend, which is actually Surya's name, Aryaman, the servant of dharma, and Bhaga. Bhaga is the giver of bliss. It's also the object of secret adoration, sun's disk. Aradhya means one who is worshipped. Ambal is worshipped as part of the solar disk. So, Bhaga is also given another interpretation by Bhaskar Raya that she is worshipped through the letter I. The first alphabet of Sanskrit, A, in conjunction with E, gives rise to the alphabet A, AI, which is the 11th alphabet. And it is said the 11th letter of her mantra is the support and the seed and is in the form of a triangle. So that is another interpretation by Bhaskar Raya. Next one, Maya, which is Nama 716. Maya means that which is not, which is illusion. The energy that obscures, which is plain, is Maya. You know, in desert, when they travel, they see a oasis, kind of a image, and that is illusion. When they go near, it is not there. So Maya is a mystery of omnipresent power. It appears in deceptive mass, producing only illusionary effects. So you have Bhaskara again commenting from Devi Purana. It is called Maya because it is the instrument of marvelous actions. It is producing unheard of results like dreams or jugglery. Kanchi Periva, he says Ambal, the Brahma Shakti, is the power of Maya who confers Brahma Jnana on us. Even though she wraps us in delusional Maya, she also has the absolute compassion to liberate us from the clutches of Maya. We divert our minds through our sensory organs, through the pleasures. In the process, we forget our inherent inner happiness. All our five senses start ruling us to cleanse our mind and liberate us from the control of our senses, and to also free us from the wavering and wandering mind. Ambal appears as Kamakshi. Ambal is Maya. She is the powerful force that creates a cosmic illusion that the phenomenal world is real. If you have been to Haridwar, there is a temple for Maya Devi. Haridwar actually was previously known as Mayapuri, in reference to this to deity called Maya Devi. Not many people know this because it is there. It is not much known nowadays. Next is Madhumati is the name, 717. Madhu, means honey, and Mati is intellect. Bhaskaraya quotes, the nature of the great deity is honey-like. You know how bees produce honey? They collect the sugary secretions from plants, floral nectar as you call it. Honey is naturally antimicrobial. I think doctor will know it. You can store honey for a long time. It has been used throughout history for almost every illness of mind and body. When I was a child, any medicine used to get mixed up with honey, and my mother used to give it to me. Because honey is sweet, so you take it. Even today, many people mix medicine with honey and take it. And Americans use the term honey to call someone they love intensely. Is that correct? You know it. It's a practice here, honey. So, Bhaskaraya gives another interpretation. He says there are 4 kinds of yogins mentioned in the Yoga Shastras. Of these, the 4th is one called Adhikra Anta Bhavana. Adhikranta Bhavana means one who transcends even the state of meditation. He is the highest of them. So, to reach that, one should overcome 7 steps or foundation. They're called bhumikas. The 7th step is called Madhumati. The last step, which is the highest of all, it's a bhumika called Madhumati. Hence, Amba's name is Madhumati. That wisdom alone which arises from this foundation of 7th step called Madhumati causes one to cross the ocean of samsara. A beautiful interpretation given by Bhaskaraya. So, in Saundarya also you have the slokam Avidyanam Antaspinzira Mihir Dvipa Nagari Jadanam Chaitanya Stabaga Makaranta Sutijari. Makaranta Sutijari. Makaranta. Avidyanam for the ignorant, Antastimira Mihira. You banish the inner darkness. Dvipa Nagari. Like an island of city lights. Ambal is like the brilliant sun, which removes the darkness of ignorance. For Jadanam, the dull-witted Chaitanya Stabhaka, to establish Chaitanyam, the Makaranta Sruti Jari, the gush of nectar, of intelligence, from the cluster of flowers, it gushes. She grants Chaitanyam to the dull-witted or the Jadanam, like honey from the flowers, like honey collected from the flowers, she grants the intelligence. Such is the greatness of this name, Madhumati for Ambal. Next one is 718, Mahi. Mahi means earth. He manifests as planet Earth, Bhuma Devi. Is there some disturbance here? I hear some noise. Okay, now it's gone. It's gone. Yeah. Devi Purana says it is great because it pervades all, and hence the Prakriti is called Mahi. Mahi is also the name of a river. You got a river name by Mahi. Jnanamba is the next one. 719. Not Ganamba. Ganamba. The troops of Shiva are called Ganas. Shiva Ganas. So Amba is the mother of Ganas. Gana also refers to Ganesha. She is the mother of Ganesha, who is the Ganapati, chief Shivaganas. So he's known as Ganapati. So he's also the mother of Ganesha. Gukhya Karadya. Guhyakas. Guhyakas are the warriors of Kubera, the world of wealth. You know, this is Kubera is one of the greatest devotees of Lalitha Ambika. Guhya means secret and Aradhya means worship. In this context, you know, she is worshipped in a secret place, which is Muladhara, which is subtlest form Kundalini. And she is also worshipped by Guhyakas, who are the warriors of Kubera. Komalangi. Komalangi. Komala means tender. Komala is also a name for some women. Angi means length. Ambal is described as tender limbed. You have another name called Nalini also, which is also meaning same thing. Guru Priya. Guru Priya here means Shiva. Starting from Sahasranamam. She is the wife of Shiva and is very fond of him, so it's all Guru Priya. Going further to the next one, Swatantra Sarvatantresi Dakshina Bhuti Rupini Sanakati Samaradya Shiva Jnana Pradayini. Swatantra, we all know it very well, independent. Ambal is independent. She is called Swatantra. Swatantra. All the tantras belong to her. That's why she is called Swatantra. She is also the embodiment of 64 tantras, Chatushashti Kalamayi. Therefore, she is also very aptly called a Swatantra. Sarva Tantresi. Sarva plus Tantra plus Ishwari, which means ruler of all tantras. She is the presiding deity of all tantras, which is 64 in number. Dakshinamurti Rupini, which is Nama 725. Ambal is in the form of Dakshinamurti. Dakshinamurti is a guru form of Shiva, who is sitting southwards, well known as the instructor, and whose mantras are found described in all tantras. Adi Shankara wrote the Dakshinamurti Ashtakam. Next Nama is Sanakadi Samaradhya. Sanakadi, worshipped by Sanaka and others. So who are these Sanaka and others? No. Brahma had 4 Manasika Putras called Sanaka, Sanat Kumara, Sanandana. I have told you the story of Sanat Kumara. They are all described as the first mind-born creations of Brahma. Brahma, mind. And they are included in succession of gurus. So these are the Sanakadi group. And Ambal is worshipped by Sanaka. And Sanakadi Sama Aradhya. They are worshipped. Ambal is worshipped by all the Sanakadi and others. Shiva Jnana Pradayini. So she imparts the knowledge of Shiva. Vasishtha Ramayanam says, wind is recognized by motion, fire by heat. Shiva, who is consciousness, purity and tranquility, is known by the vibratory energy. There is no other way to know him. Who is providing the vibratory energy? Ambal. Shiva can be realized only through Shakti. Therefore, it can be said that Shiva is the bestower of the knowledge of Devi. The Varaha Purana, quoted again by Bhaskar Raya, says, the 3 Murtis are attained by one who really knows Rudra. Who knows Rudra, who is Shiva. Shiva Jnana Pradayini. So, that completes verse number 140. So we will go to the next one, which is verse number 141. Chitkalananda Kalika Premarupa Priyankari Nama Parayana Prita Nandi Vidya Nateshwari. Chitkala. Chit means Brahman, existence, knowledge and bliss. Kala is part. It is the power of consciousness that causes limitation. with respect of all activities. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I'll quote this particular verse, Mamai-vamsho jiva-loke jiva-bhutaha sanatanaha vanaha shashtan indriyani prakristani karshati. So, mamamcha jiva-loke. Amsha is fragmental part. Mama is mine. Jiva-loke in the material world. Jiva-bhutaha is the embodied souls. Sanatanaha, eternal. The souls in this material world are my eternal fragmental parts. They are fragments. They are bound by material nature and they are struggling. Mana shashtani indriyani. They are struggling with the six senses, including the mind. So, chitkala. So, chit is most important. So, the Padma Purana, quoted again by Bhaskaraya, says the different forms of Devi is in the mind of all embodied souls, and she resides. The energy called Chitkala. So, Chitkala is the name of Ambal residing in the mind of every soul, which is really struggling with the six senses. And Bhagavad Gita quotes that these are eternal fragmental parts of the souls. They are part of Lord Krishna. Ananta Kalika. Ananta Kalika. 729 is Ananta Kalika. Means gem of bliss. It is one portion of the bliss enjoyed by jivas. Or it can also mean the bud of Anandamaya Kosa. Going further, Prema Rupa. Prema Rupa is Prema, is affection. She is in the form of affection. She is the embodiment of love. The quality of being a Supreme Mother, Sri Mata, it starts, very Sahasranamam starts Sri Mata. Priyankari, 731 Nama, she causes love in humans. Because she is herself an embodiment of love, she creates love. Nama Parayana Prita. Nama Parayana Prita means she gets delighted in the repetition of her names. As I said before, Ambal resides in each aksharam. Bhaskaraya says, from A to Sha are all names. I is 1 and Ka is the rest 35. And all 36, these 36 represent 36 years. When you multiply these 36 with 16 vowels, you get 576. These are 576 are the first letters. And if you multiply these again by 36 letters in the second place of each letter in order, you get a number which is 20,736. And if you add the first letter A, it becomes 20,737. So there are 20,737 combinations of letters that should be recited. So in Devi Bhagavatam, it says when from A to Sha, the vowels are joined to the consonants, countless names are obtained. It doesn't give the number, but the number is actually 20,737. Now, the repetition of these Akshara names is done in 5 ways. Again, Bhaskaraya says, he's quoting Sri Vidya Tantra, he says, it is in 5 days, it is described by day, by week, fortnight, a month, and a year. So 5 ways. So in the repetition of the names, in either a day or a week or a month or 6 months or a year, Ambal is pleased. Kirtan Nama Sahasram Idam Mat Priyate Sada, says Ambal. Kirtayan Nama Sahasram Idam Mat Priyate Sada. Ambal is pleased with the repetition of Lalitha Sahasranamam and also Aksharanama Parayanam. Aksharanama Parayanam in 5 different ways in one day and stretching up to 1 year. Next name is Nandi Vidya. Nandi Vidya means the science of Nandi. Now, Vidya is worshipped by Nandi, the bull of Lord Shiva. So, Sri.Sailam Kshetram is called an abode of Hadi Vidya, Kadi Vidya, and also Nandi Vidya. Saying Nandi Vidya Nateshwari, it is emphasizing the fact that Nandi is very dear to Lord Shiva and is also the first one to worship Sri Vidya. And the Vidya that belongs to goddess Parvati. Nateshwari is the next name, 734. Very easy to understand. This is the wife of Nataraja of Chidambaram. So it is something, she is part of Ambal. She is also, you see in the slide, Ambal and Shiva are dancing, and in the center you have Nataraja, Chidambaram. Going further to verse 142, which I think probably is the last one today, or no. Nitya Jagadadishtana Muktida Mukti Rupini Lasya Priya Layakari Lajja Rambadi Vandita. Mithya Jagadadishtana. Mithya means illusory. Jagat means universe. She is the basis of illusory universe, the Maya we talked about before. Mithya means false. Jagat means universe. Adhisthana means support or basis. So this Nama means that she is the basis for false appearance of the universe. She supports this illusory universe with the power of her Maya. That is the meaning of Mithya Jagadadhisthana. Muktida, one who gives salvation. Muktida. The Brahmanda Purana says, those who worship the Supreme Shakti, whether regularly or irregularly, they are not entangled to samsara. There is no doubt that they are the liberated souls. Muktida. Mukti Rupini, as our next name, in the form of salvation. Acquiring knowledge alone is not guaranteeing salvation. It is that only when one remains in his own bliss, the real salvation can. She is the embodiment of liberation. Salvation is the culmination of the process of realizing the self. Lasya Priya, Nama 738. Lasya means dancing. It's a form of dancing by women. You know, when men dance, it's called Tandavam. Tandava Murti, they call it, no? Tandavam is a man dancing, and women dancing is called Lasyam. And Ambal is fond of Lasyam, fond of dancing. Layakari, Nama 739, which is causing absorption. Laya is a particular state of mind. It's a stage beyond meditation. Laya is said to be equal to 10 meditations. In music, you know, if Swara is the father, then Laya is the mother. You have to have Swara and Laya both. So Laya is the balancing act between the primary music and the supporting music. Lajja. Lajja means, you know, bashfulness. A quality which is inherent among women. It's one of the basic qualities. Lajja. Markandeya Purana, it says, Devi who resides in all beings in the form of bashfulness. Lajja. Rambadi Vandita. Ramba is celestial. You know, like Urvasi, they are damsels. She is adored by Ramba and others like Urvasi, who are all beautiful, celestial damsels. Going further, let's go to the next one. Bhavadava Sudhavrishtihi Papa Ranyadavanala Daurbhagyam Daubhagyatula Vatula Jaratvantaravit Prabha Bhavadhava Sudha Vrishtihi. Bhavadhava Sudha Vrishtihi. Bhava means samsara, Dhava means forest fire. Sudha is nectar. Vrishti means the shower, Varshikarta, Vrishti. So material life here is compared to the forest fires. And Ambal extinguishes it by the rain of nectar. She is like the rain of nectar falling in the forest fire of worldly existence. So it's also another interpretation by Bhaskar Raya, who says it can be divided into three names. Bhavada Vasudha Vrishtihi. Bhava means Shiva, and Bhavada means she is the giver of Shiva. Attaining Shiva means liberation. Vasudha means wealth. She is the giver of wealth. Vrishtihi means showering giver again. So that is, she is the bestower of the worldly enjoyment and salvation. Is another interpretation given by Bhaskar Raya. Next nama is Paparanya Davanala, 743. Papam means sin. Aranya is forest. And Dava is forest fire. You know, when forest catches fire, it destroys the trees, homes very rapidly. Like you see the raging fires in California. They rage, they destroy entire areas, acres and thousands of acres. So Ambal is a forest fire who blows away sins that cause miseries. So she is called Papa Nashini. In Lalitha Sahasranamam, Papa Nashini. Dava is forest fire. So she is one who destroys Papa like the forest fire destroys so fast. Daubhagyatula Vatula. Daubhagya means Durbhagyam, misfortune. Vatu means Vayu, or in India you see air conditioned coaches. They are marked in Hindi. Vata Anukula. Vata Anukula. Vata means air. Anukula means very pleasant. Very pleasantly air conditioned coaches are Vata Anukula. Ambal is described as a gale or a storm blowing away misfortune. Vatula, good actions which make, see the light, fluffy, cotton-like thing which floats in the air, especially during this season, they get blown away by wind. And Ambal is like gale, and a whirlwind which blows away the miseries. Ilavam Panchu is blown away. Daubhagya Vatula. Jarat Panta Ravi Prabha. Jara means old age. And Ravi means, sun. Dvanta means darkness, and Prabha means to eliminate. The body is decaying, is subject to decay, and people start worrying when they become old. They develop fear of death. So Ambal is like the sunbeam, dispelling the darkness of decay. She is one who is consoling people who are old. Going next verse, which is the last today. Bhagya Chantrika Bhakta Chitta Keki Gana Gana Roga Parvata Tambodir Mechutaru Kutarika. Bhagya Chandrika. Previous Nama referred to the sun, but this Nama refers to the moon. And sun and moon are two eyes of Ambal. Moon is cool and delightful. Chandrika. Ambal is like Chandrika, like moonbeam, which eliminate the ocean of good fortune. Bhagyabdi Chandrika. Bhagyabdi, ocean of good fortune. Chandrika means moonbeam. Bhakta Chitta Keki Gana Gana. Bhakta Chitta. The minds of devotees. Keki means peacock, mile. Gana Gana is the dark clouds. When dark clouds gather, the peacocks cry. How they cry? Keki, keki, That's why it's called keki. There is a sound emanated by peacock keki. So Ambal is compared to the clouds, and the minds of devotees are compared to peacocks. So Ambal is like the cloud that nourishes the peacocks, which are the minds of devotees. Make the mind happy and dance like the peacock dancing. Roga Parvada Damboli. Roga means disease, and Parvada is mountain, and Damboli means thunderbolt, lightning. She is like thunderbolt to diseases. And thunderbolt is very powerful. I saw the news yesterday in some places, lightning has broken homes in many places. It is capable of breaking mountains. That's why Lord Indra has got Vajrayuda, which is a thunderbolt, a potent weapon. It can break anything. It's so strong. So Rama says, Ambal is like the thunderbolt that destroys the mountain of disease. Roga Parvada Damboir. And the last Nama for the day today is Mrityudari Kutarika. Mrityu means death. And Daru here refers to wood, not Hindi Daru, that means liquor, but here it is Daru is wood. Daru refers to wood. Here Kutarika. Kutarika is the axe. Kodali in Tamil, Mrityudaru Kutarika. Ambal is like an axe to the teeth of death. We have seen earlier that Ambal is Sarvavadi Prasamani, Sarvavritti Nivarani. Namas 551 and 552. So she cures all diseases. By Sarvavyadi, it means disease of both mind and body. Sarvavritti means all type of deaths are untimely, like what happened recently on July 4th, Independence Day parade in Highland Park, Chicago. 7 lives were lost in the snap of a finger, just fraction of a second. 7 lives done. Very sad. But Ambal cures you from this. Sarva Vyadi Prasamani, Sarva Mrityu Nivarani. Though these namas 748, 49 emphasize that Ambal saves us from the mountain of disease, Roga Parvada Damboli, and also from untimely deaths by killing the tree of death with an axe, Mrityudari Kutarika. So we are now coming to the end of the session 14. We have completed up to verse 144 and up to 749 namas. Today we covered 8 verses and 49 namas. I'm going to conclude with our usual prayers. Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadike Saranye Trayambake Gauri Narajani Namostute Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Parashakti Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Parashakti Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Parashakti Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Parashakti Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Pradam Paripalayam Yajena Margena Mahimsa Go Brahmne Pyuso Srityam Loka Samasta Sukino Bhavantu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
मंगलम गुरु श्री चंद्रमौलीश्वर के शक्ति गणपति शारदांबिके शंकराचार्यर के शक्ति गणपति महागणपति शारदांबिके के काल भैरव के काली दुर्गई के वीर धीर शूर हनुम मारुति चरण के मल्लिकार्जुन के सेल्व जनार्दन के अंबा भवानी कंबद गणपति चंडी चामुंडी के श्री कृष्ण भगवान के श्री चक्रवासिनी के सीताराम लक्ष्मण सहित मारुति चरण के विद्यारण्यर के विद्याशंकर के वागीश्वरी के वज्रदेग गरुड़ आंजनेयर के ஸ்ரீவள்ளி தேவசேனா சமேத சுப்பிரமணியருக்கே துங்கபத்ரைக்கே ஸ்ருங்கநிவாசினிக்கே ஸ்ருங்கேரி புரியில் நிலைத்திருக்கும் எங்கள் சாரதாம்பிகைக்கே சச்சிதானந்த சிவ அபிநவ நிருசிம்ஹ பாரதிக்கே ஸ்ரீ சந்திரசேகர பாரதி குரு சார்வபௌமருக்கே ஸ்ரீ சந்திரசேகர பாரதி குரு வித்யாதீர்த்தருக்கே ஸ்ரீ சந்திரசேகர பாரதி குரு பாரதி தீர்த்தருக்கே ஸ்ரீ சந்திரசேகர பாரதி குரு விதுஷேகர பாரதிக்கே மங்களம் குரு ஸ்ரீ சந்திரமௌலீஸ்வருக்கே சக்தி கணபதி சாரதாம்பி சங்கராச்சாரியருக்கே சக்தி கணபதி மகாகணபதி சாரதாம்பிகைக்கே ஸ்ருங்கேரி புரியில் நிறைந்திருக்கும் எங்கள் சாரதாம்பிகைக்கே.
Thank you all.
Thank you all. Thank you again. Until we meet next month. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Om Shri Matre Namaha.